Good morning, Mr. Peterson.
Good morning, Viviana.
We want to welcome everybody to Coffee with the Superintendent, and today we're enjoying some coffee.
We are enjoying the Christmas season.
Yes, we decorated a little bit. We have some poinsettias from Merced High School's FFA that they dropped off for us. And I would like to start off by asking you, what is your favorite Christmas song?
Oh, that's an easy one. You want me to sing it to you?
Sure, go for it.
Oh, come all ye faithful, joyful and triumphant. And yours?
All I want for Christmas is you.
Okay, good one, Mariah. Mariah girl there. Very good. Okay, that's a great start.
Yeah.
Keep it rolling.
Since we're enjoying a little treat, usually we would have like maybe a pastry or something. What's your favorite like Christmas cookie? Dessert?
Well, my wife is awesome at Christmas. Pomegranate jam, Christmas sugar cookies.
Okay.
It's probably my favorite cookie. But my favorite thing, she's gotten really good the last couple of years at making homemade caramel, salted caramel. And so there was this big bag in the refrigerator this week, kind of all laid out nice so she can cut it up into squares. And somebody got into that and I got, scolded a little bit. I was accused. I'm not sure what happened.
Could have been some Christmas elves.
Yes, something happened there.
Yeah. Okay, so we had a lot of questions submitted by staff, students, and parents, and we're going to start off with answering some facility questions.
Okay.
So the first question that was submitted was, I would like to know what we can do to get our marquee fixed and moved where our parents and the community can read it. Ours has been broken, unplugged, and now stuck on Happy Summer. The last time the antenna worked, and it's very upsetting when all of our other sites have nice marquees that work.
I couldn't agree more. I had a conversation with a staff member at Merced High about a year ago about this. It has to be Merced High.
Okay.
And yeah, we do need to move that. I will share the district is looking at different ideas and opportunities in that general area that I'm not ready to talk about yet. Okay. But one way or another, we will work with site principal, Mr. Knott, to help out there.
Okay. And then the following question was, Atwater High School turf class just spent thousands of dollars and hours remodeling the JV baseball field. Can we get a fence around the field to protect it?
The short answer is yes. However, I am aware of that space on the campus, and it is a highly used area in the fall for football. So I think Atwater High School is going to need to be creative about how they do that. I'm not sure putting up a permanent fence is going to fit with the needs in the fall. But that's something that the site can make a decision on.
Okay. And then the following question is in regards to Merced College. So the question was, many junior and senior students are taking online classes at Merced College, not to receive college credit to try and graduate from college earlier, but instead with the main goal to obtain a reduced high school schedule. They also say that the online classes are easier with the ability to collaborate with their peers and cheat using AI to complete their online college assignments. This leads to lower amounts of junior and senior students taking high school classes. I think far too many students are only taking 1 or 2 academic classes in high school. The typical senior these days does not have a first period class, so they come to school around 9:15. They then have 4 class periods before they leave to go home at lunchtime. In those 4 periods, they likely have 2 that are TA or academic mentor periods. They're not taking any electives, and they may have only 1 academic class. My question is about job security for teachers. If this trend continues and the vast majority of juniors and seniors are taking their high school equivalent classes online through Merced College, then how can teachers expect to have enough students to fill their sections that are necessary for their position to be warranted at the high school?
Okay, well, this is kind of a multi-pronged answer. Let's talk philosophy first.
Okay.
It is in our vision that students take a college course while in high school. We want all of our students to do that. We have thousands that are doing that. I realize that it might not always be for the right reason.
Okay.
However, we have very strong guardrails the freshman, sophomore year with our expectations around, what students are expected to take. Those guardrails start to come off the junior year, and they're pretty much fully off the senior year. Do all kids take advantage of the freedoms that we allow? No. I mean, of course, there are always a few that try to skirt around it or make it easy, but the vast majority do take advantage. And we track that with data. As I said, we have over 2,000 students taking a MUHSD college class. I think students and parents do need to be careful. The comment about easy or collaborating. If you're going to a 4-year school out of high school, it would be very wise to take like your a science class or a math class your senior year, and to do that in person, not online. They're going to get more out of that, and they're going to be better prepared for college if they do it in person. But yeah, I am fully aware a number of students. I mean, we had I think almost 10 students district-wide graduate with an AA. So yes, kids are taking advantage of that, and that's okay.
Yeah.
If that's, we're not producing widgets here. Everybody has different dreams, desires, and aspirations, and students need to have that freedom as seniors. I will say this about our own electives at the 11th and 12th grade. We have become more and more innovative. I've seen teachers take courses and they've blown up. Senior seminar is a great example of that. We started that a few years ago, and now that's almost a full-blown 5-section offering at each site. If you're seeing numbers dwindling in your department, I would encourage staff to innovate and look at ways they can offer electives in social studies, in science, in math at the upper level, because if it's a quality program, students will come. We see that all over the district. We have many, many students taking 2, sometimes even 3 CTE pathways in high school. So not once, and this is not new, this is not a new conversation, not a new issue. Not once in the last 11 years since I've been here have we laid off staff for lack of sections.
And I think also too, all students must have 5 periods in our district. So that's another.
Yeah, and there are exceptions to that, but that's the general rule, yes.
Okay, then we had a social media question. Given the documented concerns surrounding cyberbullying and the potential negative impacts of social media on young adults, as well as the fact that some parents restrict their child's social media use for these reasons, it has come to light that the high school district disseminates significant information via platforms like Instagram, and in some cases ties certain class credits or activities to social media use. What is the district's official stance on using social media platforms like Instagram for communicating with students? And should these platforms be linked to activities that could impact students' grades?
Okay, so some of these answers, I apologize to the audience, I have to read because they're a little bit technical and I want to get them right. This is one of those. The district's official stance would be to not use social media channels as the only way to share information, and to not have students' grades linked to activities related to social media use. I will be following up with principals on this issue to ensure that's not happening. As a district, we will continue to use multiple ways of communicating information. We do use social media to communicate information, website posts, emailing students directly, Parent Square, and posters, and the normal daily announcements.
Yeah, and I think one thing too, I clarified when I sent a Parent Square out about financial aid, that information is being shared on emails to students, Parent Square, and then also if the parent or student's already on social media, it's kind of like the social media should be just kind of like an extra thing.
Yeah. So like when you're blasting out whatever information, you're using every medium we have.
But it should always be a priority to email and Parent Square, where everybody's at. And then the following question is student services related. What, if any, help or resources do students have for their mental health? For those students who are struggling, fitting in, making friends, or who are suicidal?
Last year, we added an additional counselor at most all of our sites. This allows counselors to have a smaller caseload so they can assist the individual students with these needs. Counselors are trained not only in academic support, but also social emotional support. In addition, we have 2 licensed mental health professionals at each campus that can assist students with a higher level of need. Finally, we have an agreement with behavioral health that allows their clinicians to serve students on campus when there is a need. And for students who are struggling and trying to get connected to campus activities, and we aggressively push that connection, especially at the freshman level and actually before they come in, even as 8th graders making that transition, getting involved in clubs, band, athletics. We have multiple clubs that are available throughout the day, programs after school. But certainly if you have a student that is struggling with anxiety, depression, or even suicidal ideation, they really need to reach out to their counselor right now. And a parent can do that directly or have their students go in. So certainly a serious issue, and please use the various resources that we have.
The following question was submitted in Spanish, so I'll read it in Spanish first and then translate it. ¿Qué podemos hacer como comunidad, padres y sociedad para bajar los altos incidentes que se refiere a bullying o peleas entre los jóvenes? ¿Cuáles serán las consecuencias sobre los jóvenes que hagan una pelea o que sean parte de esa pelea? So the parent asks, as a community, parents and society, how can we lower the incidents or altercations on campus that are related to bullying, or maybe it's a fight that starts on campus? What are the consequences when our students get involved, or maybe our standbyers?
Well, first of all, we need to educate students, and we do, about the consequences of bullying and what to do when it's happening to you. Excuse me. We don't tolerate bullying at all, and it is dealt with immediately if we know about it. But either parents or students need to, talk to administrators, counselors, and teachers, and they will kind of report it up the chain. Students who are involved in these sorts of activities or fights are disciplined and provided various interventions, and those can include skills for conflict resolution, coping skills, de-escalation. All of that is covered. If students continue to fight after being taught those skills, then they're not going to be with us one way or another.
Okay, and then quickly in Spanish, en nuestras escuelas no toleramos bullying o tampoco peleas que pasan en las escuelas. Los administradores agarran los estudiantes y hablan con ellos, y a veces depende de las situaciones, les dan como clases donde pueden aprender cosas como cómo manejar sus emociones, si tienen un problema con otro estudiante, cómo manejar esos problemas con otros estudiantes, cómo hablar también con los principales cuando hay esas situaciones, como los jóvenes usar sus emociones para no ponerse en esas situaciones cuando se enojan mucho y quieren pelearse con otros estudiantes. Y también eso no es todo lado, a veces sí hay diferentes hay diferentes maneras que los estudiantes están disciplinados depende de la situación. So, cada vez que eso pasa, sí hay consecuencias.
Okay.
And then the following question is, how do you help with students that need help with mental health issues?
I would refer to number 1 there. You want me to repeat that?
No, I think we're good. I think I might link some information on our YouTube thing. So just like kind of like a reminder on there.
Very good.
And then the following questions is in regard to LHS. I think it was a parent concern. And so, will something be done regarding students smoking in the bathrooms?
I'm glad this question came up again. We had 3 of these questions last quarter. And when you do call in or email in your questions, there is absolutely a reaction on campus, especially when we see multiple comments. That happened in the fall. I got a very nice email back from a parent about 2 weeks after we addressed this last quarter, saying it's much improved. Thank you. So I will do the same with this comment at Livingston High School. I will be honest, this is a struggle. We need your help in this and helping us to make it clear that students should not be bringing vaping devices onto campus, and your help as parents monitoring that would help us. But we have administrators, we have liaisons that check the restrooms, but obviously they can't catch everything. So
okay, the following questions were questions submitted by students. How is the valedictorian speaker chosen each year at each school?
Okay, valedictorians are selected through our board policy 5127, and I want to say it's right at a 4.2 and higher. That's the valedictorian itself. Valedictorian speakers are or the speaker at graduation is not necessarily the valedictorian. So it may be at some sites. We give sites the freedom to choose the speaker. But I know when I was a principal, it didn't have anything to do with being a valedictorian. We had people try out and we picked the top 2 speakers. Okay.
And then the following question is, why is MUHSD TAs getting taken away?
Let's see. All right, so teachers are required to have a certain credentials, and CTE teachers are not authorized in kind of what we call a broad spectrum assignment, which means having TAs under them or teaching academic support, that sort of thing. So there are rules about credentialing and having TAs in class.
Okay. Could there ever be more opportunities for the artsy students in all districts to add more color to schools' murals? And do you think you can do more? Instead of banning phones, why not ban any and all forms of students using substance? I've seen kids with lighters, vapes, and even joints on the bus. The smell is terrible. Don't you value student health?
Yes, we value student health. With regard to the art comment, yes, there are multiple student-led and our art instructor or whoever on campus allows students to do murals. Right off the top of my head, I'm thinking Merced High School,
UHAC has
UHAC Colony. One of the coolest things I have seen is at Livingston High School in the library. Mrs. Edwards, the librarian there, works with the art teacher there, and they take the individual ceiling tiles and take them off, create something really cool and put them back up. So yes, there are opportunities. If you have ideas, please talk to your site admin, talk to your art teacher, and you can make that happen.
And then also too, if you see something, say something. So I think that's really important too as a student. If you do something there, we do have a tip line, and I'll link it on our YouTube description where students can text it's anonymous. So if you do see something at school on the bus,
for sure. And that,
Yeah.
I mean, that's 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
Everyone knows the difference between right and wrong, what behavior is acceptable on campus and what behavior is not. And when something is bothering you, let someone know. And if you don't want to talk to a particular person on site, you can call the tip line.
Yeah, and all forms of substances are banned on campus.
Yep,
so
for sure.
What about vending machines was the following question.
Vending machines. Okay, so vending machines are highly regulated by the state of California, as is everything that we serve our students for lunch and breakfast. My guess is the vending machine they're talking about are the ones we can't have. So there are vending machines for milk. There are vending machines for water. Healthy options on our campus, and that's perfectly fine. But can we have vending machines for gum and candy and that sort of thing? No.
Yeah. And then the following question is there a possible chance of being able to make custom teams in the game room for Xbox, like Forza Horizon 5?
I think there is a possibility to do whatever you want on campus with regard to clubs. We have clubs that start up mid-year, beginning of the year, all year long. It's a matter of finding that adult on campus to sponsor you and working with the administration to make that happen. But we have all kinds of creative rooms. I'm thinking right now of Yosemite High School that has an entire, game room there right off the gym. So
yeah, and I think
yes, it's possible.
I think Assets too. If you have never been to Assets after school, they have the game rooms, and I know they have like sometimes competitions and stuff like that between students. So that might even be another option.
Yep.
And then the following question is, why don't we have HOSA, which is HOSA, and Merced High School? I think it would be really beneficial.
Kind of goes along with my answer from above. You are certainly welcome to start that. Find your sponsor, talk to your administration.
And that's, I think, usually linked with the CTE teacher for the patient care pathway. That's how it is at Livingston and Atwater High School, and also BUHAC. So, Mr. Peterson, I have a very important question for you. What was your favorite Fortnite season?
Well, Viviana, I am not a Fortnite guy, but I would say off the top of my head, my favorite season would be next season.
And then the following question is, why did our school cancel our rallies?
Well, I don't know the answer to that. Believe it or not, I'm not responsible for every decision. However, the questions do come to me, and I did reach out to Merced High School, and they have scaled back their in-class rallies, and they are providing opportunities at lunch and after school.
Anything also comes to space. Like I went to LCAPS yesterday, and it's really we're outgrowing our gyms now. It has come to that point too.
Well, and you have multiple Christmas rallies, Christmas wishes rallies going on across the district, and you're going to see absolutely packed gyms.
Yeah. And then the following question is, two questions are related to athletics. Is there a way to develop consistency between schools related to extracurricular activities and sports? A few simple examples include absence policy impacting athletics differ between schools. Also, athletic season passes versus annual access and costs vary. We donate passes to families who cannot afford to watch their kids play, and it is substantially different between schools across the district.
Okay, I'm going to do my best to answer this question, and I'm going to assume that this is a staff member asking. And even if it's not, if I don't answer it fully, please reach out to me, call me, or email, and I will follow up if I'm not able to answer your kind of specific context here. We have a district-wide absence policy regarding student participation in athletics. That should be being followed at every single site. And if it's not, and you know it's not, you need to let us know. Sites fund their athletic department from ticket sales. For example, football games, that's the largest producer of revenue, and schools may allow parents in for free or at a reduced cost via season passes. The solvency of our athletic departments is based on generating the revenue from the gate receipts. We do assist when needed, but that is the site's responsibility to operate that and budget for next year.
Okay. The following question is, I'm writing to inquire about our district's athletic programs and their commitment to equity and inclusivity. As education professionals, we share the responsibility of ensuring all students have equal opportunities to participate and excel in school sports. I would appreciate information regarding the following. So I think I'm going to go one question at a time because they submitted a couple. So what metrics and oversight processes are in place to ensure equitable resources distribution among all sports teams, particularly concerning trips and tournaments?
Okay, so sometimes there is a question within the question on these. Okay. And so if I'm not covering it, kind of same as my previous answer, if I'm not covering the kind of specific point you're trying to get to, please follow up with me. The district funds all transportation costs. Sites, now, all transportation costs, unless they are fundraising for an outside tournament. Like we had a couple of basketball teams go to Hawaii for a tournament. That is something the team does. But basic competition, the regular schedule in our region, we fund the transportation for that. Sites fund their athletic programs based on the level of revenue, again, generated from ticket sales. And if we have problems there, the district always assists with that. I kind of already covered this bullet about individual programs, funding travel.
Okay, the following is, could you clarify who oversees the athletic department's budget and expenditures? I'm particularly interested in understanding the decision-making process for fund allocation.
Okay, so varsity head coaches are responsible for submitting their sports annual budget. Okay, that budget is overseen by the AD and the associate principal in charge of athletics. Also, the site principals involved in that, that helps them build that budget and make sure expenditures are covered. I would like to think, well, I wouldn't like to think, I know in most cases, for example, uniforms are basically the same at all sites, and those purchases, because we fund them. However, we don't tell varsity coaches no if they've gone above and beyond in their program to raise a little extra money. For example, for the team to have a sweatshirt and a travel bag. Those are, we cover the basics, and we would consider something like that above and beyond.
Okay. The following question is, how is spending monitored?
That's the varsity coach and the site AD and the AP in charge of athletics.
Okay. What checks and balances exist to ensure fairness?
Well, I'll just read this. All athletic programs are funded at the level that allows them the necessary equipment, uniforms, safety equipment to compete and play at the maximum number of Sac Joaquin section contacts home and away. So fairness, I would say, is a relative term. Again, all the basics are covered, And if a particular team wants to go above and beyond, that's up to them.
Okay. And then the last question is in regards to Prop 28. 80% of the Prop 28 monies is intended on the creation of new performing arts staffing. In quotations, it is illegal for these monies to fund existing positions. It is for the supplementation, not to supplement current positions via EC Section A821A of the bill. The money expires in 3 years, and this is the third year. And they had... Should we go one by one, or do you?
Yeah, let's go one by one so they don't get confused.
Okay. So this is the first question in regards to Prop 20. Has any of the 80% staffing monies been used? If so, for what positions and at what schools?
Okay, so I don't have the answers of all the individual expenditures. If you want to follow up with me, I can get those for you. Prop 28 may be used for arts education programs that include, but is not limited to, instruction in dance, media arts, music, theater, visual arts, including folk art, painting, sculpture, photography, craft arts, creative expression, including graphic arts and design, computer coding, animation, music composition, ensemble, script writing, costume design. So all of those, that money can be used for.
And then the following question is, since the funds are expiring, we assume that the district is applying for the waiver. How will the money be used, knowing that the intent for these monies is only meant for performing arts and not to be reallocated elsewhere?
Well, we can't reallocate it elsewhere. That's I think the point of the question. It will be spent on those areas. The district must show that it has spent the same amount of regular ongoing funds on arts funding that it did the previous year before using Prop 28 funds. That's very important. Things that were funded by one-time funds, such as ESSER or the Learning Block Grant in the previous year, may be continued with Prop 28 funds once those one-time funds run out.
Okay. The following question is the district, not MCOE, prepared for a state-level audit proving that those monies are being used on the performing arts, or that you even attempted to use those monies on the arts, but then have reasonable cause to apply for the waiver in the first place?
The answer is yes, we are prepared for an audit.
Yeah. We've seen so many districts around us use these monies to create additional FTEs and additional music stipends. Why hasn't this happened already?
80% of the Prop 28 funding must be spent on personnel if you don't get the waiver. All sites have sections that qualify as arts education, and were paid for by one-time funds last year and that we no longer have. Those sections, as well as new sections that meet the qualifications, are eligible to be paid from Prop 28. Those final calculations have not been made yet this year. Is there another bullet?
Yeah, one last one. Is there a grander plan? And if there is, have you asked for expertise?
Comment principals are asked to form a committee with those instructors to make site decisions on what is available and who's going to get how much. So yes, there is a grand plan.
Okay.
But it's site-based.
Site-based. Okay. And that will conclude all the questions that were submitted for this coffee with the superintendent. We're going to be going on winter break soon. So is there anything you're looking forward to as we go off into winter break?
Well, I think everybody's looking forward to winter break, staff, students, parents. Christmas is a great time of year, and everybody gets a well-earned couple of weeks break. So yes, just looking forward to it in general. I'm going to have all of my family home which I did not have all of my family home at Thanksgiving. So
Mhm.
it will be great to have everyone here for Christmas, and don't have any special plans. We'll just be together.
Awesome. Well, thank you everyone for joining us. We wish you happy holidays and take care during overwinter break. See you next time.
Merry Christmas, everyone.